if you want to learn more, read our book, Plague, co-authored by me and Kent Heckenlively. The reason why we call it plague, because it's a plague of corruption surrounding the plague of disease, the 21st century acquired immune deficiencies that are essentially in every family because of the vaccines, because primarily of vaccines spreading retroviruses, animal retroviruses through our families. So this book talks about not only, I used to call it a murder mystery, but I survived, so it's a suspense thriller. It talks about my days in jail. It basically flashes back to how I learned this. It's a story. There's a lot of science in it. You can skip over the science. It's in audio. This is the paperback version where the book came out November of 2000, in fact November 18th of 2014, which was the 3rd anniversary of the day I was arrested and held in jail for 5 days. So it goes through day 1 in jail, day 2 in jail. It talks about everything we talked about how the government knew exactly what was going on and how they corrupted the science and how the journals and the scientific journals participated and are actually just fake news. You know, our scientific journals, what we think of as science is fraud. As I later learned when I met and discussed Andy Wakefield's. So it's actually scary, because what happened to me, I met Andy the day our paper came out, and he said, you have no idea. And I said, no, we're all right. We bulletproofed it. We've got the whole NIH behind me, and I didn't know they were the enemy. And so it's a great read as a suspense thriller. But doctors, we wrote it for doctors, we wrote it for parents, we wrote it for everybody, because if you don't know anything about the science, you think in the United States of America, a 53-year-old woman couldn't be arrested, held in jail without constitutional rights have been removed from this day. I was silenced until 2015, and after that, the lawsuit that we filed for my civil rights violations, you know, no due process, no nothing. I still can't step foot on an NIH or an institution without being arrested for being called a fugitive from justice. So in America, so if you don't know anything about science, you start thinking, really? You know, what exactly did she do wrong that you drug her out of her house that day and afforded her no protections and never did, and put it in, you know, the most highly regarded journal? How did we engineer this? So when you can see that and you think about it, it doesn't take much for doctors and parents to say, I'm never giving another vaccine, nor will I ever allow my child to be inoculated again. In fact, because a lot of doctors actually lost their lives. Jeff Bradstreet actually knew the book, knew our work, treated the autistic kids with antiretroviral, with AIDS therapies. They get better, you know, so he lost his life. So I'm lucky in a sense because I'm still alive, and what we tell everybody, I'm not suicidal, I'm homicidal. And so I have great protection from around the world when I protest at the CDC, where I'll be on October 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th. We protest at the CDC every year to bring this out and to stop the killing and maiming of our children and our parents and our families with these vaccines that they know are contaminated with retroviruses, and end the plague of corruption.